Hi. I did a video a couple of mornings ago, 3 or 4 now. I'll put the date on the bottom of this one as well, just like I did last time. That was when on Monday morning, I think it was Monday morning, I knew that I thought that I had some pretty bad financial troubles because, oh, that would have made it Tuesday morning. Anyway, the date's on there for people looking. And for Rumble users, it got uploaded really late. I just got that uploaded to Rumble because I was having so much technical difficulty getting Rumble to upload it. It had a thing where it said it was processing it, and it just kept going, oh, failed to process, over and over and over about a million times. But anyway, I deleted the whole thing and then restarted the process, and this time doing that worked. But as I said, I really had bad financial problems, I thought, because the morning before, which must have been, or the afternoon before, which must have been Monday. This memory thing, I'm sorry, I'm saying these words and then I'm going, oh, that's probably the wrong day. I'm probably still getting it wrong as I'm correcting myself. But I had a day that I went to the store in the afternoon. I think it was in the afternoon on the way home from work, and I thought I was in deep trouble financially because it told me I was declined for insufficient funds when I tried to use my debit card to buy a little magnesium supplement. Not saying it was a cheap magnesium supplement, but it wasn't enough that could have made any sense from where I thought I was to insufficient funds. So I was all freaked out, and I did go to the bank the next day. And with going to the bank the next day, I was actually fine. It wasn't quite as well off as I thought I was. So there was a mistake in my mind of understanding where I was, and that was good that I went and got that cleared up, but not one that took me down to where I would have now been getting late fees, not withdrawal fees, overdrawn fees. So I don't have that issue that I thought I had. I had started fasting the night before because I just thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to be in so much trouble with the snowballing effect of overdrawn fees and what would happen when you're that much below what you thought you were and what you thought you needed. And fasting is always good. Honestly, I highly recommend fasting as a great practice, at least for Christians. I don't know about for everybody else, but I think it's an awesome thing, and I think it can be an awesome thing with health problems at least some of the time. I can't promise what your context is and what health problems you're dealing with, but I dry fasted for about 48 hours. I don't think it was quite 48 hours, but I ate again around the 48-hour mark, or maybe 1, 2, 3 hours earlier than that. And because it was only the 2-day period, the 48-hour period, I didn't even do any kind of slow refeeding or anything. I just went back to eating and drinking, whereas I'd had that 48 hours or nearly so with no food and no drink at all. And it was great. It was so good. That's where I have to get into this saying I recommend it for at least some of the people who are dealing with significant health problems. Everything in the world has to have the disclaimer, you should ask your doctor. Hard for me to even get those words out since I've had so much of the medical establishment doing harm. And I obviously just do my own thing and figure out for myself along the way rather than putting myself in danger of more of that harm. But for me, the fasting is great, and I really had a good 2 days of just great mental clarity and great ability to be present in the world and to think straight, and it's so good. It made me think of a scene in a show called Firefly where this character River is, she's, I guess, schizophrenic, or is that the closest I need to try to describe it? It's a different problem, but this character who is crazy is not crazy because of a medication her doctor brother gives her, and he's talking to her and she's describing it, and then she says, and I hate it because I know it'll go away. Well, it kind of made me think of that, but I was not hating it. I was really grateful and praising God for having a couple days that were that good. And then the next day, which I think was yesterday, after I'd already started eating again, maybe that's 2 days into starting eating again. Anyway, yesterday I had a pretty good day too. So I haven't had any bad days since the fasting. I'm not as good as it was during the fasting maybe, but pretty high up there. So far today I feel fine and I feel pretty clear, but some of that stuff kind of sneaks up on you when you're not having good cognitive ability. Sometimes it's a little later you go, oh shoot, that didn't make any sense. Obviously I had a little trouble already this morning going, what days, I can't put this together and say the timeline. So far from perfect, but I'm feeling good, and I'm really glad I had those couple of days fasting, and I'm really glad I'm not so bad off in my finances as that crashing down, sinking feeling I had that I thought I'm just in a terrible and desperate state suddenly. You know, my financial deal is not good. It's overall not good, and it's way too close to being able to crash down below zero like that. But doing the best I can. I'm going to keep doing the best I can and keep leaning on God. I find a lot of the time lately, I find myself praying that, just telling God He's a good God and that He's a good Father and He knows how to give good gifts. And the phrase comes out at the end of all that, or the sentence that the winds and the waves obey your voice. So there's things I'm really worried about that I have not been able to deal with financially that could create who knows how big of a abyss of whatever that I fall down into at any moment, like my car needing fixed. But I keep praying that, and I keep driving places, and I keep trusting that God knows what He's doing. God's things are always to a good purpose. If I get in worse trouble again, or if it kills me, God is still God, and He's still in control, and His plan to whatever purposes He needed it to go in are what is the best thing that you need, and that the whole world needs. And I don't know what the ripple effects are. I know He manages to use even someone as weak as me. I see things in the conversations I have on a regular basis that sometimes they're very important. Sometimes they're really possibly planting a seed, and not just a spiritual seed, and I shouldn't say not just as if that's no big deal, that's the most important thing, but also in many other ways. We're living in this world where unfortunately way too many of the people we are surrounded by don't know anything, and because people, especially a lot of younger people, grew up surrounded by lies, indoctrinated into lies, taught lies, told lies, just 24/7 from every voice all around them, from institutions and from everything. Their heuristics are totally messed up. They don't know what's going on in the world, and they have no basis to begin to figure it out as how it would feel and look to them if they begin to see how bad off they are from just how complete and total that picture of everything was lies is. And we can see a lot of the chaos that's coming from that people realize. A lot of young people are realizing that the world is this bad off. And I don't blame them for seeing it in an extreme fashion. It is an extreme situation for them. And I talk to people all the time. So sometimes just being able to set a fact of American history straight and say, that's not true when someone says something. Let's talk about that. Back up to what you just said a moment ago, because that's not right. And all of us have those opportunities. And whether it's something that really helps someone in the deepest ways that I wish it would, or just something that sets a little ball rolling that could manifest in something good 6 generations later, God's ways are the best ways. And I just highly recommend that everybody out there, not only that I think fasting is good, but that I think you should be doing what you can, when you can, where you can, no matter how weak you feel. If you can't get the days of the week straight, it also feels like, how can I set straight a fact of history? Well, I still have my early memories of my education from how well Virginia was teaching history to elementary school kids in the 1970s, back when, I doubt they're doing it well now, but back then, really good job on the history lessons. And occasionally I have had bad enough days to, in all this illness of recent years, bad enough days to not know those things, to just go, oh my goodness, I'm even losing just the base knowledge from years ago. But I don't have very many days that are that extreme. And you know, you deal with what you deal with, and even when it's that, God is always good. So I just wanted to set the record straight about my finances not being as desperately bad as I had thought they were, and that the fasting didn't really go very far, but it was wonderful to have it while it lasted. And I'll just try to make videos more often instead of months in between, which maybe is, obviously it's partly a function of how poorly I'm doing, that it's hard to manage the time and to get anything done, but I'm going to try to make videos anyway in the future. God bless y'all.